Want to know one of the most misunderstood secrets about what truly turns women on? It's not the abs. It's not the car. It's not even smooth talk. It's boundaries. Yes, strong, grounded, unapologetic boundaries. And here's the truth most men never learn. Boundaries don't turn women off. They turn them on. But not the fake kind. Not the alpha mask. Not the manipulative power games. I'm talking about real masculine boundaries. The kind that are carved from self-respect, unshakable purpose, and a man who knows exactly who he is, with or without her. Because in a world full of men chasing validation, the man who stands firm in his truth becomes a rare energy, a gravitational pull she feels more than she understands. And tonight, I'm going to break down 6 powerful boundaries that trigger subconscious attraction in women. Not through force, not through charm, but through presence. These aren't power moves, they're clarity moves. And when you hold them, something shifts inside her. She feels it, she respects it, she responds to it. Especially boundary number 6, because that one doesn't just protect your power, it redefines how she sees you, and maybe even how she sees herself when she's with you. So, grab your coffee, sit back, and listen carefully, because what you're about to learn might just change the way you move forever. Boundary 1. The unavailable advantage. Your time is yours. That's the first and most powerful boundary you can ever set as a man. At first, it feels risky. You don't reply right away. You don't drop everything the second her name lights up your phone. You don't rearrange your entire world just because she's suddenly free tonight, and your mind starts panicking. Won't she lose interest? Won't she think I don't care? Won't she move on to someone else? But here's the paradox. The opposite happens. When you're not always available, you send a message, not through words, but through energy. My time has value. My life is already full. You're stepping into something that already has motion, meaning, and direction. That subtle tension she feels, that tiny uncertainty about where she fits in your world, that's not rejection. That's a mystery. And mystery is magnetic. Because constant availability screams one thing: I have nothing else going on. Scarcity has always created value. It's human psychology. The rarer something feels, the more we chase it. And when a man becomes rare, when his attention isn't on tap, he becomes irresistible. You don't chase her. You draw her in, simply by holding space for your own life. Here's what most men miss. Being unavailable isn't about ignoring her. It's about being present in your own world. It's when you're so deeply engaged with your purpose, your passions, your growth, that she realizes you're a man she can't just schedule. She has to earn her way into your rhythm. And that's the shift. That's when the attraction flips, because she no longer feels like she's controlling your attention. She feels like she's earning your respect. So let me ask you something. Have you ever been too available and watched her slowly lose interest? Drop the word guilty in the comments if that's ever happened to you. Because changing this one boundary can shift your entire dating dynamic. Boundary 2. The no apology rule. Say no without guilt. This one boundary can change everything. Here's the psychological twist that most men miss. How you say no matters more than how often you say yes. Visual beat. Split screen of 2 timelines. One where he over-explains, one where he's calm and brief. Picture this. She invites you to something that doesn't align with your schedule or energy. You want to say no, but your gut says, don't upset her. So you end up saying, I'm so sorry. I just have this one thing, and maybe I can move at it, but I'll try. I promise. You over-explain. You backpedal. You soften your truth until it barely sounds like a boundary anymore. And she feels it. When you apologize for existing, what are you teaching her to expect? Now, compare that to this. Hey, I won't be able to make it, but I hope it's great. Let's catch up later this week. Polite, clear, confident. That's attractive. You didn't fidget. You didn't apologize for existing. You didn't ask for permission. You just owned your time. A man who can say no without guilt doesn't just protect his schedule. He communicates that he trusts himself. And in a world full of men trying to please everyone, that kind of self-trust, it's magnetic. If you struggle to say no, borrow my line, That doesn't work for me, but I'm open to alternative. Short, kind, final. Can't make it tonight. Hope it goes great. Not available that weekend? Let's plan for next week. I don't do last-minute calls. Text me earlier in the day. Each one is clean, neutral, boundary forward, no guilt, no groveling, no drama. Why this works. Psychology moment. Clarity reduces anxiety. She knows where you stand. That's leadership. Guilt signals insecurity. Insecurity drains attraction. Neutral tone shocks internal power. You're not avoiding her. You're honoring your code. Drop clear, not cruel in the comments if you're adopting this today. 3. The respect reflects. Respect isn't something you demand. It's something you reflect on. That's the Stoic truth. A lot of men learn the hard way after being ignored, dismissed, or even disrespected by women they were trying to impress. But here's the real shift. When you respect yourself in action, not in words, you become someone she can't play with. Let's break it down. When a high-value woman meets a man, she's not just checking boxes. She's feeling something. Call it gravity, call it structure. What she's really looking for is how solid you are, whether your boundaries are real or just something you talk about after a few drinks. And this is where most guys lose themselves. They think respect is about being nice, about avoiding conflict, about giving her space while quietly hoping she'll come around. Wrong. Respect begins with you. If you don't hold it for yourself, she won't hold it for you. Beat. Dim the music. Lean in. Let me show you how this plays out. Take Mark, 54, a marketing consultant from Denver. He started seeing Jessica, 48, a smart, confident woman who had been single for a while. Early on, she would cancel plans last minute, not rudely, but casually. Once she even rescheduled dinner because her dog seemed moody. Mark didn't get angry. He didn't argue, but the next time she texted to hang out, he replied simply, "Only if it's a confirmed night. My time matters too." That was it. No drama, no sarcasm, just a clear mirror. Jessica showed up on time that week and kept showing up consistently after that. Mark didn't need to lecture her. He didn't need to explain what respect means. He just lived it. Visual, quote, card fades in. This is the Stoic approach. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius said it centuries ago, and it hits harder today than ever. Here's another example. Derek, 58, a retired Navy officer, was dating Erin, 50, an executive in finance. Smart, assertive, sharp tongue. At a small dinner party, she playfully teased Derek about his old-fashioned style, mocking his blazer in front of friends. He didn't laugh. He didn't challenge her either. Later, when they were alone, he told her, "You're free to joke however you like, but I don't stay close to people who try to chip away at me in public." No yelling, no guilt trip, just a quiet standard. Erin didn't defend herself. She apologized and never crossed that line again. That's what this boundary is about. It's not about dominance. It's not about making her feel small. It's about reflecting back the level of energy you're given, with clarity, calm, and non-negotiable self-respect. Women remember the men who stood firm. They may laugh in the moment, but deep down they clock every time you don't flinch, and every time you do. If you react emotionally, pleading, over-explaining, trying to fix, you lose the frame. If you stay composed and speak from principle, you gain her respect. And more importantly, you keep yours. Stoicism isn't about being cold. It's about not being shaken. And here's the thing. When you reflect disrespect back through action, not attitude, you train the world how to treat you. And women, especially high-value women, they respect that far more than empty words or polished charm. Because what they're really watching for is whether you respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that doesn't match your energy. Let that sink in. If you've ever held your tongue just to keep the peace, this is your moment to flip the script. Comment below, "I hold frame." Stay with me. What's coming next might shift how you hold power without even saying a word. Boundary 4, the calm test. Let's start with a truth that makes many men uncomfortable. Women test you. Not to be cruel, not to play games, but to see what kind of man they're really dealing with. And these tests, they're not always obvious. They come wrapped in sarcasm, hidden in silence, disguised as jokes. But make no mistake, she's always watching your reaction. Because the moment you lose your calm, you lose control. And once that happens, the attraction doesn't fade. It evaporates. Women feel safest and most attracted when they sense that your emotions don't override your presence. Visual beat. Slow motion of a man in candlelight, listening calmly as tension rises around him. Let's see this in action. Nathan, 49, a construction project manager from Houston, had just started dating Lisa, 47, a successful realtor. She was charming, but she had an edge, a sharp tongue, and loved to push buttons. During their fourth date, Lisa casually mentioned over dinner, "Most guys I date get jealous when they hear I still talk to my ex." Now, Nathan could have done what most men do: get defensive, ask questions, try to prove he's not like the others. But instead, he sipped his wine, looked her in the eye, and said, "Sounds like they didn't know how to hold their space." Then he smiled and changed the subject. That one moment shifted everything. Why? Because Nathan passed the calm test. He didn't flinch. He didn't chase clarity. He stayed grounded. And that told Lisa more than any charm ever could. We are not disturbed by events, but by our judgments about them. And that's the heart of the calm test. Your greatest power isn't your looks or your words or even your success. It's your ability to stay composed when others lose their grip. Let's go deeper. Paul, 56, a retired firefighter, had been seeing Clara, 52, for a few months. One evening, out of nowhere, she said, "Sometimes I feel like you're too emotionally reserved. I don't know if that's good or bad." Classic test. It's not an attack. It's curiosity wearing armor. Paul took a breath. He smiled and said, "I'd rather be quiet than say something I don't mean. But if you're asking whether I feel something, I do." He didn't over-explain. He didn't defend. He stood his ground with warmth. That's the magic of the calm test. You don't need to win it. You just need to not lose yourself in it. Because here's what's really happening beneath the surface. When she pokes, when she provokes, when she throws emotional curveballs, she's not hoping you break. She's hoping you don't. She's subconsciously scanning for stability. And if you pass that test, by breathing instead of reacting, by holding frame instead of folding, you rise in her eyes without saying a single word. Soft piano pause. Some men confuse calmness with coldness. But being calm isn't about not caring. It's about not collapsing. It's about mastering yourself so deeply that no outside force can shake what you've already decided inside. When you become that man, she feels it, and she trusts it. Because while attraction pulls her in, it's your emotional gravity that makes her stay. If you've ever been thrown off by a woman's words or moods, this is your wake-up call. Stop reacting. Start holding presence. Drop this in the comments right now. I stay calm. Because the next boundary, the one coming up, teaches you how to command attention without saying a word. Boundary 5. The authority silence. Sometimes, the most powerful thing a man can say is absolutely nothing. This isn't the cold shoulder. It's not manipulation. It's discipline. It's about using silence as a statement, not a reaction. When you respond to everything, you lower your energy. You become reactive. And in her eyes, that tells her you're not in control of yourself. Let's bring this into the real world. Gerald, 52, a real estate investor from Phoenix, had been dating Amanda, 49. Things were going well, but Amanda had a habit. She loved pushing buttons in public. She'd throw out small jabs. Don't be so serious all the time. Wow, Gerald's in his wise man mood again. At first, Gerald laughed it off, played along. But deep down, every jab chipped away at something inside him. Then one night at dinner, Amanda did it again, expecting the same old grin. But this time, Gerald didn't flinch. No smirk. No sigh. Just silence. He looked at her, calm, unreadable, and shifted the conversation. That one moment changed everything. Later that night, Amanda pulled him aside. "Are you upset?" Gerald smiled. "No, just not everything deserves my energy. No anger, no lecture, just authority." And that's what silence can do. In Stoicism, there's a concept called ataraxia, inner tranquility. It means your peace doesn't come from controlling others. It comes from mastering what you give your attention to. When you embody that, your silence becomes magnetic. It speaks louder than argument. It says, I won't compete for attention. I don't perform for approval. My peace is not negotiable. Let's look at another example. Brent, 59, a financial advisor, was dating Renee, 51, a creative director, vibrant, passionate, emotional. During a disagreement about weekend plans, she raised her voice, not in anger, just intensity. You never want to do what I want. You're so distant sometimes. Most men would have defended themselves, explained, argued, justified, but Brent didn't. He stayed calm, waited. When the room fell silent, he said softly, I don't talk when emotions are running in the room. Let's revisit this when we're both steady. Then he stood up, walked outside, and took a quiet breath. 20 minutes later, his phone buzzed. A text from Renee. I respect that. I lost my grip for a minute. That's authority silence in action. It resets the energy. It protects your frame. It teaches her that your attention is a privilege, not a given. And let's be clear, silence is not a punishment. It's a boundary. One that says, I don't argue to prove my value. I don't entertain chaos. I know who I am, and that's enough. High-value women feel it instantly. They don't always like it at the moment, but they respect it deeply. Because in a world of men who panic, plead, and overshare, a man who can hold silence becomes rare. And in attraction, rarity is power. If you've ever felt like your words fall on deaf ears, maybe it's time to stop talking and start standing. Type this in the comments. I protect peace. Because what's coming next isn't just about holding your line. It's about leading with purpose. Boundary 6. The Mission First Code. There's one boundary that separates grounded men from the ones who vanish in someone else's orbit. Your mission comes first, always. Now, I know what you're thinking. But won't that make me look selfish? It won't, because putting your mission first doesn't push love away. It anchors it. When a man has purpose, he radiates direction. And direction creates trust. But the moment you start bending your life to please her, canceling plans, shelving goals, softening ambition, you're not being kind. You're communicating something dangerous. My purpose is flexible. My identity is negotiable. That doesn't create connection. It creates confusion, and confusion kills desire. Let's see this boundary in motion. Marcus, 47, owns a custom woodworking shop in Denver. 20 years of sweat and sawdust built that place. He meets Dana, 46, an interior designer, magnetic, creative, grounded. After a few weeks, she says, you should take weekends off, relax more, you work too much. Now, Marcus likes her. But his weekends in the shop, that's where his soul lives. So he looks at her and says quietly, I get it, but this isn't just business for me, it's who I am. He didn't flinch. He didn't apologize. He didn't rearrange his rhythm. Guess what happened? Dana didn't pull away. She leaned in. Because she saw a man who wouldn't abandon himself for affection. That's the Mission First Code. It tells the world, my life already has a pulse. You can dance to it or walk away, but I won't change the beat. Here's another one. Thomas, 58, logistics director, marathon runner for 15 years. Routine, discipline, clarity. Then comes Angela, 50, spontaneous, wild, intoxicating. At first he keeps up. Late nights, skipped runs, lost sleep. Within weeks his energy dips, his focus drifts, his drive dulls. Angela notices. You're not yourself anymore. That sentence hit harder than she knew. Thomas realized he'd traded his edge for comfort. So he recalibrated. He told her, I care about you, but I've worked too long to lose the structure that keeps me sharp. This is non-negotiable. She didn't cheer, but she respected it. And slowly, she followed his lead. Because the truth is, a woman can't trust a man who can be pulled off purpose. She may enjoy the chaos for a while, but deep down she's waiting for the day he steadies the wheel again. A man without a mission is a leaf in the wind. A man with a mission is a mountain. He doesn't move for comfort. He becomes the thing others lean on. So ask yourself, have you been chasing ease or building gravity? Comment below, I lead with purpose. Because the next rule, the no fixing rule, will save your energy, your peace, and your masculine core. Boundary 7, the no fixing rule. Here's a hard truth, gentlemen. You are not her therapist, you are not her savior, and you are definitely not her emotional janitor. One of the most draining traps strong men fall into is trying to fix women. They think love means repair, but real strength knows the difference between helping and healing for someone else. Meet Thomas, 57, a chiropractor. Kind heart, grounded presence, lifelong rescuer. He starts dating Clarissa, 49. Brilliant, beautiful, but carrying storms. Resentment toward an ex, tension with her daughter, financial chaos. Thomas steps in like a hero. He buys her a laptop, helps write her business plan, and gives endless advice. Every time she spirals, he rushes to patch it up. And slowly, she stops respecting him. Why? Because the moment you become her fixer, you stop being her mirror. You become her assistant, and attraction dies where assistance begins. Psychological truth. When you fix someone, you tell their subconscious, I don't trust you to handle your own life. And nothing kills polarity faster than hidden pity. Stoicism says, be tolerant with others, strict with yourself. Marcus Aurelius never said, carry their storms. He said, observe, empathize, but stay steady. Let's flip the script. Robert, 48, a sales executive, starts dating Elise, 46, recently divorced, full of fire and fear. She vents, she wavers, she tests. Robert listens, and when she asks for advice, he asks first, do you want me to fix this or just hear you out? That single question changes everything, because it shows awareness. It shows self-respect. It says, I'm present, but I'm not here to rescue you. And that's when respect is born. High-value women don't want saviors. They want equals who can stand beside them without losing balance. They don't crave men who smooth every wave. They crave men who stay anchored when the water moves. If you've ever been that guy, the emotional band-aid, hear this clearly. The fixing instinct comes from ego, not love. It says, she's broken. I must save her. But grounded masculinity says, she's capable. I'll witness, not rescue. Your job isn't to stop her storm. Your job is to stay dry enough to see through it. So what does the no-fixing rule look like day to day? You don't give advice unless asked. You don't chase emotional balance for her. You don't make her mood your mission. You listen with presence, not pressure. You observe with patience, not panic. You speak only when your words add clarity, not control. That's how you earn trust without draining your spirit. When you stop fixing, you start respecting. And when you respect, you attract. Because strong women are drawn to men who don't flinch at emotion. They stay still, like an oak in the wind. And in that stillness, she feels something rare, safety without submission. So ask yourself tonight, are you trying to win her by solving her? Or are you standing tall while she solves herself? Type it below. I hold steady. Because when you do, you stop attracting chaos. You start attracting women who carry their own calm. Boundary 8. The mystery principle. Let's be honest. Most men talk themselves out of attraction. They think openness builds trust. They think if they tell her everything, she'll feel safe. But here's the paradox. When you reveal everything, you kill the climb. And when there's no climb, there's no desire. What actually pulls her in isn't your history, it's your mystery. Not manipulation, not secrecy, but deliberate restraint. It's the art of pacing your truth, the ability to leave her imagination hungry. Because a woman's curiosity is the engine of attraction. If she can predict you, she can't crave you. Paul, 52, runs a design firm. Smart, stable, divorced 5 years. When he re-entered dating, he made the classic mistake. He overshared. On the first date, before the drinks even landed, he talked about his ex, his health scare, his daughter's college fund. He thought he was building honesty. But what she heard was a life without mystery. Then he met Maria, 47, architect, magnetic, calm, observant. This time, he did something different. When she asked about his past, he smiled and said, "That's a long story. Maybe I'll tell you someday." When she asked what makes him happiest, he paused. "I'm still figuring that out." He wasn't avoiding connection. He was inviting curiosity. Mystery isn't about playing games. It's about emotional pacing, revealing your story layer by layer. Because humans don't crave what's handed to them, we crave what's just out of reach. Epictetus said, "Practice silence. In silence, the soul finds discipline." Mystery is discipline in motion. It's knowing when to speak and when to let your presence speak for you. The most magnetic men in the room aren't the loudest. They're the ones whose eyes say, "There's more to me than what you see." Let's illustrate. Derek, 49, a Navy veteran turned leadership coach, was dating Natalie, 42, confident, bold, used to control. She asked, "What's your longest relationship?" He smiled. "Let's not rush the autobiography just yet." She laughed and leaned closer, because he revealed just enough to feel real, but not enough to be known. And that's the secret. When a woman knows you too fast, she labels you. When she can't quite define you, she studies you. So, how do you apply this boundary? You don't answer every question instantly. You don't fill every silence. You don't post your whole life online. You let her earn access. Because access, when earned, becomes value. Mystery isn't cold, it's confident. It's knowing that what's private isn't hidden. It's sacred. So ask yourself, are you giving women a reason to wonder or reasons to scroll away? Drop this in the comments. I protect mystery, because what comes next is about the most subtle yet powerful signal you'll ever send. Boundary. 9. The touch control signal. Touch. It's quiet, primal, and it reveals everything. Not full intimacy, not flirtation for show, just micro moments. A graze on the arm, a hand resting briefly on a shoulder. The space between leaning in or choosing not to. Every touch tells a story, and women, especially high-value women, can feel whether your touch comes from calm confidence or quiet desperation. Here's what that looks like. Thomas, 51, divorced, grounded, good shape, thoughtful. He meets Danielle, 48, a corporate trainer, poised, feminine, emotionally sharp. Third date, connection's good. She laughs, taps his knee. Thomas panics. He leans too close, touches her hair, tries to keep contact. She smiles politely, but her energy drops. The moment's gone. Why? Because he touched to get reassurance, not to give groundedness. Now meet Greg, 56, semi-retired architect. Dinner with Melissa, 47, former dancer, steady presence. Halfway through, she rests her hand lightly on his forearm. Greg doesn't rush. He doesn't lean in. He just smiles, calm, deliberate, and keeps talking. Later, when she hugs him goodbye, he moves slow, controlled, one hand firm on her back, not to pull her in, but to hold the moment steady. She lingers, because she felt something women rarely feel anymore, a man whose energy doesn't shake when contact happens. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That includes your hands, your impulses, your reflex to reach for connection instead of radiating it. Touch is nonverbal leadership. It's your body saying, "I choose connection, I don't chase it." When you master touch control, you become calm in her nervous system, and that's intoxicating. Picture this. She playfully nudges you. You don't jump, you don't chase. You simply hold eye contact, breathe, and let the air hang between you. Then, maybe, later, you return that energy on your terms. That's polarity. Women feel your stillness before they ever feel your hand. That's how they decide whether you're solid or seeking validation. Remember this. You don't touch because the moment's hot. You touch because you own the moment. When you do, you shift from needy to needed, not for attention, but for presence. Drop this in the comments. I move with intent. Because the next and final boundary, Boundary 10, the look that ends the game, will show you how to command attention without a single word. Boundary 10, the look that ends the game. Some boundaries are spoken, some are felt, but the most powerful ones are seen, not in words, not in gestures, but in the look that stops her breath, the look that says, "I know who I am." Do you? It's the silent line a high-value man draws without lifting a finger. It's not about intensity, it's about presence. That dead calm behind your eyes, when everything around you is noise, but inside, you are still, unmoved, grounded. Women notice it instantly. Because in a world full of men who react, a man who simply observes becomes unforgettable. You walk into a room, not searching, not chasing. You're not avoiding attention, but you're not begging for it either. And when your eyes finally meet hers, you don't flinch. You don't grin nervously. You don't look away. You pause, long enough for her to feel seen. Then you calmly return to your world. That's the look. It says everything words never could. Let me tell you about Michael, 54, an executive in logistics, successful but frustrated. He'd been on dates for months, charming, polite, but always hearing the same. "You're nice, but there wasn't a spark." Until one night, he went to a gallery event. He met Sophie, 49, a former lawyer turned writer. He didn't perform, he didn't flirt, he simply looked at her like she was part of the landscape. Later, Sophie told him, "You didn't try to impress me. You looked at me like I was already included in your world, and that made me want to stand out." That's the paradox. When your energy says, "I'm already full," she wants to pour into you. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When your thoughts are calm, your gaze carries power. That's what I call the stoic gaze. Not cold, not arrogant, but anchored. It's a boundary that doesn't need defending. It's an invitation wrapped in confidence. Let's test this. You're on a date. She playfully challenges your opinion, or flirts with the waiter, or delays responding to your compliment. Most men flinch. They try harder. But you pause. Your eyes stay still, soft but certain. You say without saying, "I see you. I'm not fazed. I'm still here." That moment ends the game. Because the game only works on men who need to win it. You've already won yourself. When you've built that kind of presence, she stops wondering if you're interested and starts wondering if she's worthy of your focus. That's the look that ends the game. It's not dominance. It's not seduction. It's mastery. It tells her, "You're beautiful. You're bold. But I'm not here for entertainment. I'm not your project. I'm your mirror." And mirrors don't chase reflections. They reveal them. So next time your eyes meet hers, don't look to impress. Look to measure. Then let the silence do what charm never could. Because when you hold that gaze with peace, she'll remember it long after the night ends. Not because it said something, but because it showed everything. If this video made you pause, if somewhere deep down you felt, "This is what I've been missing," then maybe this wasn't just a video. Maybe it was a mirror. Because men who lack boundaries don't lose women. They lose themselves. And once that happens, you stop leading and start following the noise. Boundaries are not walls. They're frames. They shape your energy, your respect, your world. When you hold them, you become rare. And in a world full of loud men, the rarest energy is calm certainty. So from this moment on, be the man who doesn't apologize for his space. Be the man who doesn't fix chaos that isn't his. Be the man who leads with purpose, calm, and self-command. Because attraction doesn't begin when she sees you. It begins when you see yourself clearly. So if this message resonated with you, don't just leave quietly. Leave a mark. Comment below, "I hold my frame." Because this isn't just a mindset, it's a movement. This is Dark Psychology, and I'm Amelia. Until next time, hold your boundaries, protect your peace, and never explain your value.